started last night in some area in Tedura, arresting innocent people. They don't even ask whether you have passport, you have residence. They don't care. Football is an association. It's an association of its own, which the government is supposed not to be interfered according to CAF law, FIFA law. Now there was a fake football between Nigeria and Libya on the 15th of October, which Nigeria supposed to arrive in Benghazi, then divided to another state. The football could not hold. Nigeria football team went back home. Since then, the CAF looked into it, set up a committee. What really happened? The verdict was given out that Libya had to pay a fine of $50,000 to CAF because of the way they behave to Nigeria football team, because it's a CAF is a law of their own. Now, if you go to social media, Libya journalists and so many bloggers coming up that Nigeria is going to pay that $50,000 by arresting all the Nigeria in Libya. You get it? Other country, there is nothing like that. And as I'm here, there are some videos they sent forward to me as a community leader that the arrest started last night in Tejora area. They have started arresting Nigeria. You have passport, you have paper, they don't. Sir? Some video forwarded now that last night the Libya police is already arresting Nigeria, whether you have passport or not. Some of us already afraid, calling everywhere that what are we going to do? Sometimes when the community leader, we can't do anything. Even sometimes the heads of the embassy is tight, but the foreign body have to intervene in this situation. Thank you.
Hello, good morning, viewers. This is Satellite Media. Mr. Chinedu Michael, let us look at the travail of Nigerians in Libya. Remember that the other time, Nigeria had a little diplomatic row with Libya over the treatment they gave to the Nigerian national team in their country. Though they claim that the Nigerian authority, first of all, gave them inhuman treatment, their national team. But in a surprise turn of events, CAF have fined Libya government $50,000 as a fine, as a punitive action. But surprisingly, the authority of Libya have started arresting Nigerians, and from the information making round, the Nigerians over there are saying that the Libyan authority is saying that they will pay that $50,000. It looks as if the dignity of Nigerians have been taken away in Libya.
Not only in Libya, Nigeria's image at the global level and the international level has been very questionable. Because of the kind of situation we find ourselves, because of the kind of leadership we run in this part of the world, and Nigerians has lost value in terms of trying to portray themselves at the global level as a nation that is serious with leadership. So when you see nations like Libya, bragging, or trying to put Nigeria in a corner or push them in a fix, it tells you that Nigeria has gradually lost presence as the African giant. That is one. But there was a similar thing that happened in Libya. The Libyan authorities, claimed that took place here in Nigeria when they came for a game, a football match. Here in Nigeria. So they were supposed to land in a particular place. Unfortunately, they landed in a particular place, and it's like that was the beginning of the issues that is already multiplying to something else that might result to a very big diplomatic row between the two countries, and if possible it can sever the relationship between Libya and of course Nigeria if care is not actually taken. But it was actually blown out of proportion by the Libyan authorities when Super Eagles of Nigeria arrived in Libya for a rematch. That was extreme humiliation for me. No matter what happens, they should have been able to show some level of tolerance and sincerity and commitment, knowing that this thing has to do with football, game. It's just a game. We are not at war. We have not breached any diplomatic relationship with the Libyan government, apart from people who just want to go there and engage themselves in a competitive game. So, but the fact we want to take the fact everybody need to understand in this, that these people we are looking at, even though at a point I will believe that the chairman of Libyan Football Federation, automatically resigned, and the pilot that took them to Libya, that was supposed to land in a particular place, claimed that the instruction for him to divert the plane to another area came from a higher authority, which means their government might be behind what happened, because they were pointing to similar treatment when they came to Nigeria. And do not forget now that Libya is in a very serious political imbalance as a result of the other part is against the other party. They engaged themselves in war some time ago, trying to see who's going to take over the control of government immediately after Gaddafi was removed as the president of Libya. I think after about 42 years or thereabout in that position anyway. But the fact is that at this point, what is Nigerian government going to do about it? They should try to see how they are going to make sure that all the tensions has calmed down. But don't forget that Libya is an Islamic country, and they have extremism in trying to some level of extremism in all they do, and the way they look at people who are on this part of the world, they might not be able to see them as people who they should accord some level of respect, because most of the players that play in that national team, most of them are Christians.
If I may please jump in here, because before now, even Nigerians in Libya have said that it's a common knowledge in Libya that they were waiting for Nigerian national team to pay them back. And seeing that this is the situation, do you think Nigerian government get what it takes to protect our citizens in diaspora?
To be honest with you, viewers, those who are watching this interview, the fact is that what is the perception of the global world when it comes to Nigerian image? That is one thing people need to understand. The Nigerian image as a nation is, whether you like it or not, is already bastardized. That Nigerians are not even, it's just that the name has been there. If not, I don't think anybody want to bear this name entity called Nigeria, because one, they do not know how to protect their citizens. They don't know the number of citizens they have there, unless there's an emergency. Look at what happened in South Africa when there was Ibophobia in South Africa. The Nigerian government could not be able, to send a Nigerian carrier to South Africa to rescue Nigerians. So they know that they are own risk. The whole world was watching the scene until Epi, an Igbo man, came out, and were able to go as long as those South Africa to rescue Nigerians. So the Nigerian image is the perception, they see Nigeria as a corrupt nation, as a nation, that's supposed not to exist because of the mass poverty that exists in this part of the country, given the kind of natural resources we have. So Nigeria already have, a very unstable image at the global level, and most African countries do not recognize Nigeria. And secondly, it might have a political undertone, considering the fact that most Sahel nations are Islamic countries, and you know what is happening in Russia. Russian stand on Africa, and Libya might not be left out at the end of the day. So there was a time when the issue of Niger, Burkina Faso, when they were about to send some French nationals in Niger packing, they instructed Nigeria to invade Niger and make sure that there was stability or whatever. Those things might be some of the things that might have build up to the battered image, that the Libyan government is already capitalizing on, to humiliate Nigerians in Libya, with the hope and fact that the government of Nigeria, after all, may not intervene and does not believe on rescuing Nigerians who are pushed to a corner. Most Nigerians are languishing in different jails, and they know. You have the president of Nigeria in the diaspora, you have foreign minister, you have ambassadors in Nigeria in those countries. How effective are they in trying to make sure that Nigerians at that country is being properly protected from harm? So those are the things. So if there's this kind of reaction coming from the Libyan government, so it shows you that the dying image of Nigeria and the perception of Nigeria at the global level is nothing to write home about. So it will take a lot of image laundering work, and a change on the part of the government and governance to be able to begin to spread relationship, friendship among this country who has already seen Nigeria as a nation that is not even worth to establish a diplomatic tie with. So on that note, what the NFF should do, of course, I know that it's not strictly an NFF thing. This has to do with Confederation of African Federation, that is CAF. They need to see how they are going to look at that issue properly. Maybe, if possible, it might attract more further political and economic sanction on Libya if it is not checked.
I must say very thank you for your time. This satellite media and Mr. Matthew. Thank you very much.